So, welcome. This is a podcast recorded on Monday, September 2, 2024. It's mainly an audio podcast, and this is not a scripted podcast, as I'm all alone this afternoon at home, as the family has gone for shopping for some school items, as schools here in Greece are opening in 10 days. And I found the opportunity to record the podcast as quickly as possible and do a test run, do this test without a script to check out if this can work out for me and create more content regularly. So what I'm going to talk about today in this podcast, I'm thinking of making this podcast series. I'm thinking of making an episode at the start of every month and going through my every note, all notes that I have taken down during the past month on Ocean. Oh yes, I haven't made the autofocus so that it can focus on the phone. It could only focus on my face. But if you're watching this and you're not just listening, you can see here my Notion, and these are all notes that I have taken in August. And some of them, I have published some of them, mainly on X, formerly known as Twitter, which I'm really fed up of reading this every time I run across X in any kind of text. So I'm thinking of going through this list of notes every month, at the start of every month, of every thought I had and have taken down in my Notion database. And in this way, I need to place a full stop in my sentences. I have noticed that I begin talking and talk without pausing at all, and every other sentence starts with and this is going to go forward forever. So I'm putting a full stop here. So I'm thinking of going through my notes every month. These are the notes that I may have published or may have not published. So at least in these podcast episodes, there will be somewhere, there will be recorded somewhere in case I never publish them on other social media. Full stop. I hope you are still with me. This is the disadvantage of not having a script. And this is the disadvantage of not having a big monitor and of having a script and recording this on the fly. So if you are watching again this, you can see next to each note I have an indicator of whether I have published or not the note. So in case I have published it on X or anywhere else, or on Twitter or on YouTube, if the note has actually been made into a YouTube video, this is also where I can check that out so that I don't need to elaborate more on that. So before I begin, let me say that I'm a work-from-home dad who used to be a professional gambler and has turned into a web publisher for the last 10 years. And I'm now shifting towards content creation since I have some difficulties, since I am having some difficulties with my biggest website, which has been hit by a recent Google update. And all that is documented in my YouTube channel for anyone to watch. And I also like, remember I start again the sentence with and. And I also like to make documentary-styled videos. This is not a documentary-style video. That's why you don't see different angles of me talking to the camera. But normally my favorite videos are documentary because that's the kind of videos that I like to watch. So this is the kind of videos I like to make. Anyway, these podcasts are just videos that I want to make so that I have a more human and real connection with the audience. So let's start with the first. So, August 2, 2024, I got a note here that says, I got a job. This was meant to be a newsletter that I would send to my blog subscribers. I never wrote that. And it's about, it meant to be about that because I had this website that got hit by a Google update. I needed now to spend a lot more time on it so that I can try and recover the website from the Google update and bring the traffic back to normal. So the main topic of the newsletter was that although I have never had a job for all my adult life, I'm now 45 years old, and so it was meant to be that I got my first job, and that job was that I spent at least 8 hours every day on this website thanks to Google updates. That was the main topic of that newsletter. I still have that job. I did get that job, but I have another job now as a content creator, as a full-time content creator, as I have also created a video on that as we were on summer vacations on the Greek island of Skiros. So everyone can watch that and how I have turned into a content creator from a web publisher and a professional gambler many years ago. The next note is about, it's a funny story. It's about a thread. It's about, not a thread. It's about a message someone posted on Threads. Yes, I do use sometimes Threads. That's the social network launched by Meta, who also runs Instagram and Facebook. And this guy, I think I have some photos, some screenshots that I saved so that I can remember what I wanted to tell. Yes, I do have screenshot. You can see on the video now. So this guy says on Threads, how life can change in an instant. 2 months ago, happily married, living in a fantastic house in Chile in Greek. 2 kids, 3 dogs, 3 cats, a fantastic garden. Perfect life. Now I'm homeless in the UK. Haha, got a laugh. I read that message while I was on my evening walk that day. I still remember that. And I took a screenshot and sent it to my wife, saying that everyone seems to be struggling at this time of year or in 2024, which has been by far one of my worst years in my life. And I don't know if it's the algorithm that throws me all this bad news to me, because it understands how I'm feeling, and the more I engage and interact with this kind of news and posts, the more it throws to me. And so I tell my wife, look here, everyone's having a bad year. And she says, the first thing she texted me back was, is that about the divorce? Well, that was a surprise for me, as I never thought of that. I always think of jobs, of work going wrong, of struggles in running a business. I never have a relationship as a reason for this bad news. So I go through the replies, and lo and behold, someone replies, is this about losing everything and actually being homeless, or tell me you are newly divorced without telling me you are newly divorced? And another one, I can relate, I'm homeless too, 3 months ago for me, but left family behind, blocked the lot of them. How are you finding it? So my wife turns out to be correct once again. And she's probably right. I didn't follow up on what happened to the guy, but this is a very unfortunate event, of course. I was surprised that he was 2 months ago happily married, living a fantastic life, and now he's homeless. I don't know what really happened, but our bet, both me and my wife, is that someone had an affair and someone found out very late in their marriage. So that's about this note. I have saved it for publishing it, but I never did so. The next note is about the For You page and about social media marketing, something that I have noticed on X as I'm trying to better promote myself and reach out more people and grow an audience. So when you open up the X app, formerly known as Twitter, the app loads immediately at For You page. This is something that is done by almost, I think, all social media networks, or social networks, anyway, or social platforms, or social media platforms. And did I tell you that I'm not an English native speaker? Okay, you've probably understood it by now. And so the apps open up at the For You page so that the algorithm feeds you with all the relevant posts that it thinks are suitable for you. I never do that. The moment that I open any social media app, I move over to the following tab so that I can read only the posts from people that I have personally followed and have an interest for. But sometimes I stick to the For You page because it's really interesting and the algorithm does a great job. And I have noticed this, that in the For You page on the X platform, there are no reposts. They are used to be called retweets. They are only original posts. So if I read something on X and I repost it, adding a quote, a comment over it, so that I can express what I'm feeling or add something to the story, this is a repost. None of these reposts are made into the For You page. So I've made a note here that reposts are meant for networking. So when I repost someone's post, they get a notification, they will probably read what I've written, and they could comment or they could repost that. And if that account has a lot more followers, my post will get will get reached out to some of their followers. But that repost will never make it to the For You page, which the For You page is like going viral posts. That's the main goal of every post we make online as content creators. That goal is for our post, everything that we share, to hit the For You page in any social media platform we share. So, reposts are for networking and posts are for growth. So if I want to grow an audience, I need to focus on writing original posts and not reposting other people's ideas. Of course, if I share something very interesting, or I'm very good at writing, or I write something controversial so that engagement is increased, maybe that repost will get some traction and I will get more reach, but I will never make it to the For You page. So I have made a note here that I should focus more on writing original posts instead of reposting. Unless I do want to network with the guy that shared that specific post. Oh yes, this is something I published on X. It was when I was witnessing that my website's traffic wasn't improving at all since last October and more recently since March due to the Google updates, that I had read on X, I think, or on Reddit, that the general advice from SEO experts is to not spend a lot of time on the website that has been penalized from the algorithm. So I made a note to spend only 1 hour max on the site, on working the site to recover its rankings. It doesn't grow, although I have never followed any spam practices. I have not been engaged into black hat activities, and the growth has been all organic. So I shouldn't have been hit by these updates. So still doing my best, but I'm thinking of posting more on my personal brand and creating content for me and for my personal brand, the one that you are watching right now or you are listening to, and not lose more time on trying to recover that website. The following days, that week in August, I made a schedule here on my Notion and created. I had this idea. Maybe it's a crazy idea. You'll tell me. Oh, this for engagement, I just pretend that, I need you to tell me if this is a good idea so that you can add comments below so that the video can have more engagement and the algorithm understands that people are finding this video interesting so that it can, so that it so that it shows it to even more people so that I get more views on my videos. Anyway, tell me if this is a good idea. So I thought of scheduling 3 different newsletters every week. On Monday, let's say on Monday, I would send a newsletter based on work. This is a newsletter that this newsletter might be about my past gambling experience, my web publishing struggles, or anything I have learned about web publishing lately, any recent developments, how you can publish your own website, some tips that I have found very helpful for my work, anything related to my work from home business. So this would be my work letter sent every Monday. Then on Wednesday, I would schedule a newsletter about health. As I'm 45, I'm a lot more how should we say it in English? I care a lot about my health, a lot more for my health than when I were 20. So as I have shifted towards a more healthy living, I'm now tracking my weight, tracking my nutrition, taking long walks every day. So as I'm really interested in healthy living, in a healthy life, since the general advice is to share everything you have recently accomplished or anything you are really interested in, that would be a letter about health. In that letter, I would share everything I learned the past week about health or anything that changed in my daily habits related to health. And then on Friday or Sunday, I don't remember the day, doesn't matter, I would send a letter about family matters, because I am married, I have a little daughter, and for the past 10 years I have accomplished to raise a family. So in this way I would cover all 3 big pillars of what I'm interested in, and in fact it's the 3 biggest pillars you and me and every person on planet care about. It's about work, health and family, and the correct priority is health, work, and then family and relationships. Because if we are not healthy, then we don't really care about work or relationships or any other person until we get better. Once our health is improved and we don't have any health problem, then we focus on work so that we have money to spend and raise a family. So once we have enough money to live, then we can focus on relationships and improving our relationships or our family well-being. So in this way, I would send out 3 letters covering all these 3 pillars every week. If you are a subscriber, you already know that I haven't followed that plan, but it's something that I have in my mind. So tell me if this is a good idea and if I should follow that plan. Then the next note is, yes, I have a note about the health letter. The topic about the health letter is about how much calories you burn during swimming. This is because we went on vacation, and I have noticed even since last year that swimming burns about 2.5 more calories than walking, brisk walking, not just strolling around. Because 1 hour of me walking, I'm about 90 kilos by the way, I burn during 1 hour of walking about 350 calories. During swimming for an hour, and it's not about actively swimming in the sea, I don't go for any world records, I'm just floating on the sea, but I'm covering some distance. That 1 hour of swimming burns me about 850 calories. So it makes for me much more sense to swim for a week, to swim for an hour instead of walking. And that's what I, in fact, did during this year's vacation on the Greek island. I didn't go for any long walk as long as we were there, and I only swam for at least 1.5 hours every day. That burned me about 1,300 calories. So I was able to hit my calorie deficit every day, which I aim for 1,000 calories below what my body consumes, so that I can lose some weight. And in fact, this summer I lost 3 kilos while we were on holidays. Just a moment, because my wife sent me a text right now. And I almost replied to her in English. Moving on. Give me a minute, because my wife keeps texting me back. So, this note is about a popular YouTube channel that also runs a blog. It's called Gun with the Wynns. And I found them out about because I run my blog on the Ghost platform. They also run their blog on Ghost platform, and there's a feature on the Ghost platform that everyone who runs a newsletter can recommend another newsletter. And one of those newsletters that got recommended for me to promote them, and vice versa, is this website called Gun with the Wynns. I really like their homepage layout. That's what made me click on their blog, and I found out about their YouTube channel. And as I always like to do when I run into a successful business or into anyone successful online, I spend considerable time on what they have accomplished, and I have done a lot of research on them to see what worked or didn't work for them in the past to reach that kind of success. I think it's quite interesting, this couple who's living on a catamaran boat. They started with an RV, that vehicle you can live inside, and then bought a big boat, and they are sailing the seas and showing the people how they live their life remotely. So that note is about them, that they don't do any SEO for their blog, and they are running their YouTube channel for 14 years, publishing a video every week. So that says a lot about their commitment. So it turns out right here that the blog was running on WordPress in February and has moved to Ghost. This is me trying to figure out if moving from WordPress to Ghost actually helped them in their rankings. Can't say, I don't have a verdict yet, because it's something that I tried to my website, trying to recover the website's rankings by moving my website from WordPress to Ghost, and also minimizing my hosting costs in this way. It doesn't seem to have made any change to their traffic. Anyway, they don't rely on SEO, they rely on their YouTube channel for growth. So next up is that there are a lot of notes here. I'm already recording for half an hour. I don't think I'll make it all the way to the top. Yeah, there are a lot of notes. So I'll do the half of them until mid-August. And compared to how you respond to this podcast episode, I'll probably return to cover the rest of the notes if you are finding them interesting. Also, why I'm talking in English, it's because I want bigger reach, but also I want to try and improve my English speaking skills. Something that I have made a note here to talk about, but I don't have the time to talk about it now in this episode, as I'm really obsessed about the channel of a Japanese middle-aged man. But this is a note that I took down this week, so I'll probably talk about it in the next podcast episode, as he also discussed why he talks in English in his videos 4 years ago. Yeah, I went through his 1,700 videos the other day. You can say that I'm a stalker of this guy. Anyway, this is a big inspiration for me, and that's why I'm also recording this podcast. In fact, he has inspired me to do so. Λοιπόν, it's well in Greek. Λοιπόν, well, okay. We are also learning Greek in this channel. The hustle culture, I write here. Hustle culture wants me to film myself for a YouTube video while listening to a podcast episode on productivity as I'm watering the plants. No thanks. Yeah, that's a thought that I had, that the hustle culture that is quite popular anyway online. It requires from you to do many things, to multitask all the time and go for maximum efficiency and growth. So that culture wants me to film myself for a YouTube video while I'm listening a podcast episode on improving my productivity as I'm watering the plants during my vacation. I'm not that kind of person that can do so many things. And in fact, I won't do any of those things that well. That's why I don't do that. That's why I'm right here doing a podcast episode and focusing on this and not doing a bunch of other stuff. Now, on August 12th, I had my anniversary. It's been 12 years since I created a Facebook and a Twitter account back in 2009. This is a note I published on X, and I said a very short story of why I made an account on those social media platforms. I created those accounts not because I wanted to find my schoolmates back then. That was the main reason for people back in the 2000s to create an account for these platforms. That's why they were created in the first place, actually, to connect with other people that you may have lost contact with. My friends back then were making accounts for this reason and for other reasons, to stay connected with friends, to see what's up with everyone. I didn't see the point. For many years I didn't use Facebook, and I mostly didn't open an account because of privacy reasons. I didn't want to give out my real name, any details of my identity. Of course, you may be laughing now because privacy is not, it doesn't seem to be my top priority right now, as I'm inviting you all in my home. But things have changed, and as I have always used a nickname online to protect as much as possible my true identity, I ended up creating those accounts for marketing reasons, since we started noticing back then that Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest, and they were excellent for reaching out to new audiences. Back then, blogs were very popular, so we wanted people to read our blog posts, and the best way back then to reach out to more people was through Facebook. And once I found out that this was a general tactic, I created accounts for that reason, using, of course, my nickname and not my real name. I also said that, I'm checking on the X, because you see every note I'm taking down on Notion, I also add the URL of where I have posted this idea that I had. I'm showing this on video right now, my X post on this note that I have taken. This is about another website that I have run across back in August, on August 11. This website has 0 backlinks, 0 referring domains, yet it ranks for 200 and more keywords, and its organic traffic is over 4,500 visitors and climbing. and I finally say that SEO makes sense. So this is about me trying to find why my website has gone not bad, has lost rankings. And while everyone says that you need the backlinks to rank a website, this blog post was getting more than 4,000 visits from Google with zero backlinks. So SEO doesn't really make sense often. Then I'm saying swimming, the next note is about swimming versus walking calories, basic aerobic exercises. It's about the same idea that I talked about before, but this time I shared this thought, and again I'm showing on video the post I made on X, where I'm showing how many calories I burned during my swimming at Skiros. I swam 1 hour, for 1 hour and 50 minutes, and I burned 14,000 kilocalories. 14,000 calories. Anyway, I think it's the same. It's kilocalories and calories. We tend to mix them up in nutrition and fitness world. Then I talked about Bitcoin. These are all thoughts that I actually shared on X. This is where I'm talking about Bitcoin and the 4-year price action. Then that there is no point in watching price every hour. This is me trying to convince people that they don't need to monitor the cryptocurrency prices all the time or any other price chart, either in the stock market, in Forex, anything really, since it doesn't matter short term if you are a long-term investor, and that's probably the best strategy. Then it was Black Monday. Okay, that was August 12th, Black Monday. As I'm really into gambling and investing, I really had to comment on that Black Monday that happened on that Monday, on August 12th. Again, I shared on Twitter. Yeah, and I shared that what I needed to do during Black Monday. Don't panic. Keep working on the online biz, as an online business can really outperform any other kind of investment. Don't invest the family's emergency fund, I wrote, because as I'm trying to extend my family's and business cash runaway so that I can have more time to recover my website and my business really, I have accumulated enough money to sustain our living for at least 1 year, and I'm very tempted to use that emergency fund to buy crypto. So I need to restrain myself from investing that fund. Then continue extending my business cash runaway, obviously. And I also make a note to watch the $40K level for Bitcoin, as I'm expecting Bitcoin not to go past that, to drop below 40K. And I also make a note to keep an eye on the Ethereum price at about 0.04 Bitcoin, as I always check the Ethereum price compared to the Bitcoin and not compared to US dollars or euro or any other currency. That's an important support level I expect for Ethereum. Olympic Truce, so that's when Olympics were taking place. And I was being vocal about what about the Olympic truce, as Israel and Ukraine and Russia and all these wars going over the planet. I always thought that during Olympic Games, these fights, these battles, is the general idea of Olympic Games that everyone stops fighting as long as the Olympic Games take place, but didn't see for anyone to honor that. That's another note. It's about a famous actress in the adult industry. It's about Brandy Love. If you know her, you know her. She was visiting Greece at the time and she had an accident with a boat. She made a video about that, both on Instagram and on X. And I think that's what I'm sharing this. I did share her post. I did a repost of her video actually. And I thanked her because she was telling a lot of good things about my country, Greece. as he was looking also to invest in Greece. I learned a few things, and one of the things was that she doesn't make videos only on Instagram, but she also takes advantage of the X platform, and that's what I'm also doing, as I really think the X platform will do much better than it already does. I used to hold the X shares, Twitter shares, before Elon Musk bought every share of us, and I wished I could keep my shares, as I really believe in his skill to improve the X platform and to help it grow. Anyway, this is about me marketing my content, and as I saw this very popular actress creating the video not only for Instagram but for X, it confirmed my strategy to also be present on X, something that I am not really doing lately, as I have a lot going on around YouTube and I don't have that much time. I really need to build some systems to be more efficient. Then the next thought is about the football pitch at Skiros. I'm making a video, I'm preparing a documentary video about that football pitch, and I had trouble finding out the correct English words, whether that was called football pitch or football field or football court. I knew it was called football in British English. It's called soccer in American English, and for a non-English native speaker, that becomes a bit time-consuming trying to find out the correct word, because in Greek it's very easy to say that. So I shared that thought on the X for people to tell me that football pitch is the correct word to use. Now we are close to mid-August. What are you doing now? Video, upload something? Ah, yes, this is a note about something that I heard during our stay at Skiros Island, and this is actually included in one of my videos on YouTube. I think it's the video about my life as a full-time content creator on a Greek island. When we visited the village, the Hora of Skiros, the main village of the island, we met some friends there, and this woman, she's a bit older than me. She always sees me carrying a camera, and she always comments on that. And she told me, "What are you doing now? What are you filming? When is your next video?" Oh, yes, of course, I say it to her. Yes, I'm preparing. Yes, I'm trying to. And she told me this: I upload something, anything. I need to watch things to forget, not to forget. Now, in Greek it's ξεχνιέμαι. In English it's to watch something so that it takes my mind off my daily troubles or problems. That was another reminder for me that people use YouTube and watch videos to forget their own problems and spend some time away from their own life that they are not really enjoying. So that was another reminder that I don't need to make perfect videos. I don't need to overthink about it. I just need to create what I'm good at and just show nice images, maybe a good story, but nice images so that people see a nice picture and forget about their problems. Then it goes the moon over Skiros, filming, photographing on the go. That was an idea for a blog post, I think, because in my Notion, every thought I have, I make another note next to it, whether that thought is going to be a blog post, a video, a short, a social media post. This might be an idea for a blog post on how I'm filming and taking photographs of the moon while on the go. Of course, I didn't follow up. Then that day on August 14, I managed to hit a new record, calorie burn, thanks to swimming. My watch informed me by the time I ended my swim that I had burned I did the most, not the most lengthy workout, but the workout that burned the most calories ever, and that was due to swimming. And I meant to share that, but never did it. And the reason for me working out so much, swimming so much for that long, was that I was aiming to lose 2 kilos per week, although the correct amount is about 1 kilo per week, or 2 pounds, I think, in imperial system, because losing 2 kilos per week means that your calorie deficit is 15,000 calories per week, which is not healthy and easy to sustain, and the body begins to not function that properly if you are losing so much, if you are losing weight so fast. I have one more, August 14 again. You are a YouTuber, right? Ah, yes, that was that was a completed thought, and that was a video that I posted about turning my hobby of making videos into a full-time job, as people were seeing me carrying filmmaking gear all the time. But this guy that I met on Skiros told me, the first thing he told me when we were introduced to each other was that, hey, you are a YouTuber, right? So that was a first for me, since he already knew me from YouTube. And I didn't really believe up to then that people could recognize me from YouTube. That was all for this episode. I hope you found something interesting out of all these thoughts that I had. At least these thoughts are now public in a video, so that I can reference to this video for anyone wanting to learn more. So again, let me know if I should continue with this kind of podcast episodes or not. And also let me know of any advice you have for me, as I'm trying to create more content for you. That's all for me. Oh, I forgot to ask you about that. Most importantly, let me know if you found this unscripted podcast better than my scripted ones. I would really appreciate that. Thanks, guys.